Friends, family, and other creatures from the sea, welcome back to another game between MaxPax and Bly on Fire. And of course we have... Usually I always try to do my intros about 40-45 seconds in or so. Because the first 40 seconds tend to be quite dead. But whenever I have a Bly replay, I make sure to start at the start, because the likelihood of him sending a drone across the map is relatively high. And here comes the first drone. It's going to be a hatchery first on his opponent's natural. Now this is gonna sound stupid, but there's many ways to proxy hatch. Just like there's 50 ways to leave your lover, there's also about 50 ways to proxy hatch a Protoss. This is one of the most straight up ways to proxy hatch a Protoss. The thing you do is you send one of your first drones across the map, you proxy the hatchery first, and it's basically impossible for the Protoss player to block or do anything about it really, because it hits so fast. However, if you do a triple hatch before pool and your second hatchery is on your opponent's natural, if your opponent either has a 17 Nexus or opens up with sending a worker down before the 20th worker, so before the 19th worker, so the 18th worker goes down, you can block that hatchery. So sometimes always when I play games against Bly, I always make sure my 18th worker is down, because the second hatchery, the triple hatch before pool hatchery block, is way more dangerous than this one. The current one that Bly is doing isn't so much a build that gets him ahead, it's more of a build that gets the game into a weird state. You see 2 gates coming out of MaxPax, Bly, Ian Bly as well. I mean, that's great. But yeah, it's cancel. Nice. I'm always afraid that they'll forget the cancel. Of course, Bly's been proxy hatching for so long. There's no way he's gonna forget the cancel. No shot. If he gets that down, that would be absolutely huge. Would be massive, 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 massive. But so far, he hasn't been able to get it yet. Now let's have a look at what MaxPax is actually doing in a response to this. He went for 2-gate, which is something I don't see very often. Went for Zealot, Adept. Bly immediately pushing out a couple of links. Doesn't want to lose too much to this triple unit aggression here. We have no second gas yet. Very little gas mined in general here for MaxPax so far. It's also going to be going into Warp Gate. Okay. Very interesting start here. Extremely interesting start. MaxPax going to take a little bit of damage on both of these adepts. Needs to be careful. Wanted to perhaps go kite these bad boys. Actually gets one adept caught here. It's not the greatest start for him. Both of these adepts will make it to this base. Zealot is going to go down, but this pressure hasn't achieved that much. Pushed out 11, 12, what is it? I think it was 12 links. Oh, actually, way more. Holy crap, 14 links were built. So that's minus 7 drones. Now this shade is gonna finish. MaxPax not quite paying attention though. He's gonna be able to get 2 workers here at least. Maybe even a third one. Yeah, definitely a third one. Ooh. Oh, 4 workers. He already got one before. Well, now all of a sudden this is very worth it. Not only did he force out 14 links, but he also managed to get 4 drones. And without those 4 drones, it still probably would have been fine, but third base is done really quickly already. There was 3 queens, so it's important that he got this damage. On top of that, he managed to shade out as well with these adepts, so adepts stay alive. Getting a third base is going to be relatively easy here for MaxPax later on. Just gonna need a single Stargate. It's gonna be really late, by the way. Holy crap, that's a late Stargate. That would be hilarious if it wasn't so sad. That is an extremely late Stargate right here. So usually as a Protoss player, if we're thinking in standard terms, okay? I know that this game is anything but standard at this point, but if we're thinking in standard terms, we want our third base maybe at the 4-minute mark. Oh! Yeah. Gets caught here. It's gonna lose 2 adepts, maybe even a third. No, 2 adepts are gonna go down. It's not the end of the world because he already has Warp Gate finished. What I was gonna say is you usually want around 4 minutes you want your third base. Maybe even 350. 345 is all possible, especially if you're playing double adept. You skip your second Stargate unit for a bit. But MaxPax, because of his aggressive early game opening here, is gonna be getting a 5-minute third base. Even late. Oh, he went for gases first because he realized how late his first Stargate unit is. It's extremely unsafe to move towards your third base without having a Stargate unit. because the links can just kill anything that moves there. So usually you move to your third base with 2, 3, 4 adepts and a single void ray or a single oracle. If you start getting oversaturated before your Stargate unit is out, very often you see people take their gases. So they're not oversaturating their minerals too much. They're still getting extra resources. That was pretty tight actually. Bly doing a good job here with these links, being extremely annoying. Gonna be able to get a surround here as well, and this is going to be a semi-okay trade maybe for Bly. If he gets 3 adepts, at least it will be. Yeah, gets 3 adepts, loses a bunch of his links. It's gonna be a couple of extra links as well. I'm not the biggest fan of that, I have to admit. Look at the creep. This is a Bly classic, by the way. This really is a Bly classic. The single lane creep tumor stuff is something that Bly loves to do. No matter how many queens he has, he always does the single lane. I'm not quite sure why he does it. Scarlet used to be a huge fan of this as well for a while. But she tends to push the creep into more directions. Still using single lane, but just in multiple directions. Oh, Bly finds an opening. Why am I even surprised? And these were the links I wasn't the biggest fan of. Listen, I can still hear me say, well, these 18 links, don't think they'll do too much. 6 workers going down, 8, 9. Yeah, probably gonna get 10 workers. A full pool of the worker line as well. Now MaxPax is in a little bit of trouble with roaches. I love Bly, but these 2 roaches, it must have been a misclick. Yeah. Accidentally held down the R button. Touched it with his pinky or something like that. Oh, Stasis is gonna get a big hit here. I lied, so I'm only gonna get 3 drones. Well, to be fair, if I was in a fight and I was fighting with 25 people and I'd be able to hit 3 of them in one punch, I'd be pretty happy with that. So, still a big hit. I was gonna rectify my statement, but then I decided no, I can double down on it. If you can double down on something, you should always do it. So apologizing is for losers. Robotics facility is almost done, most likely going to be adding a couple of disruptors here for that added safety. Bly, of course, a player that loves to attack, that loves to do timings, that loves to... He has a couple of things that he likes. So he likes Roach Hydra Queen timings, I think, which I don't think are that great, but he really likes them. That's fine, you know, a difference of opinion there. And he also really likes Broodlord pushes. Whenever he gets a hive, he's gonna be going for a Broodlord push, and he's gonna do it with 10, 12 queens, with loads of transfuses. It can be very strong, even if you have a couple of carriers out. It's not going to be the case this time. We have 10 queens out already, 9 of those are on the map. Where's the lonely queen remaining? Hello? Oh, wasn't it behind? There you go. So all of these queens are gonna start moving forward. There's not that much here for Bly though. 10 queens, 12 hydras. I mean, this isn't a huge army. Void Ray almost went down there. No disruptor yet. Oh, Robobay isn't done yet. We're gonna be seeing a lot of cannons added here on the side of MaxPax. We have a battery out already. No energy for a stasis ward. There's no +1 on these Void Rays yet either. No +1 on the range units. So an unupgraded fight. Both guys will be hitting each other with sticks for now. Soon, however, it will be upgraded sticks. We love to see it. Rocks go down. 900 minerals in the bank here for Bly, who's obviously struggling. No. I was gonna say probably doesn't have larva because all of his queens are on the side. How did he have 14 larva and just wasn't producing? Right now 10 hydras are coming down. Infestation pit starts as well. I like this transition a lot. Bly recognizes, hey, you just invested like 1200 minerals into cannons. What happens if I just go home right now? Is it really that bad if I take 8 gas? I add 10 drones and well, probably slightly more than 10 drones. You want to be going up to 85, 82. We already added 6, 7 drones. Probably want to add another 12, 13 here. 86 workers, 10 gas. I think MaxPax is in a world of trouble. I really do believe that. MaxPax is going to be stuck here on... Sorry, MaxPax is going to be stuck here on 3 base for now. He's going to be looking to take the line forward base rather than the regular forward fort. 13 drones, I like that. We get 8, 10 gas estimates. Should be possible. This is absolutely insane. So, The infestors confuse me because there's disruptors out already and it's a pure Hydra army. I guess it's gonna be for microbial shroud. That does make some sense in that case. Okay, Baneling Nest. That doesn't make a lot of sense. This Lingrunbai is gonna be able to take out this Nexus over here. So Bly is gonna keep his eco lead for now. 83 workers against 62. 4 roaches are being popped out as well. We have carrier production starting on the side of MaxPax. Still wants to take this as his force base. I understand that. There's creep at this one. There's a queen just standing forward. Yeah, but I think Bly's gonna take this out. Bly sees this, he's just gonna move there. And even if he doesn't trade efficiently, it will still be good trades because he's outmining his opponent by so much. First disruptor shot's going to connect with a bunch of Hydras. Good initial start of the fight. He's not using microbial shroud, instead decided to go for a fungal, but I'm not quite sure if that was the greatest call. I'm not even sure if Bly actually... No, he should be able to kill this. Okay, yeah. He's gonna be able to take out these cannons. No cancel on these cannons, no cancel on that battery. Nexus will need to get cancelled here. Microbial, no microbial once again. Instead, these disruptors are moving forward. They're gonna be trying to hit big, but they hit small. But at least they hit. 17 more Hydralisks are on the way here. 32 links being added onto it as well. There's still no Baneling speed, so... And there's also no upgrades on these links. These links, I guess we'll get the Adrenal Glands relatively soon. Might prove to be semi-useful. Okay, then it's plating on the way here for Bly as well. Disruptor goes down. There's absolutely no way this MaxPax gets out of this situation alive. I just have a very difficult time seeing it happen. We already have Vipers on the way. Twilight Council is just now starting, which means that Templar Archives is still a long way to go as well. This base is gonna get cancelled for a 17th time. Yep, there we go. MaxPax is gonna try to save it, but all of these fights are so bad for him, even if the fights are good, because he just doesn't have the money. Now disruptors are pushing back a big portion of these Hydras, and oh my god, that was a huge... No. Okay, last shot doesn't quite connect, but the first 3 shots definitely did connect, and they connected big. Microbial Shroud is being used right now. Exactly what I thought he should have done a little bit earlier already as well, but yeah, this is the problem, is that even if MaxPax technically is trading efficiently so far in this game, he's just mining so much less than his opponent. So much less than his opponent. And that's an issue. That definitely is an issue. What's the upgrades right now for MaxPax gates? +2 on air. Meanwhile, we have insane upgrades going down for Bly, so on 10 gas at this point. We can definitely afford those upgrades. Couple of transfuses perhaps Bly. Yep, there we go. Queens will be able to stay alive for a little bit longer. Hydralisk trying to take out as many interceptors as they can, but as long as these disruptors stay alive and they get a second round of shots, it might be possible for MaxPax to at least temporarily... Oh, I think MaxPax is dead. I think MaxPax, ladies and gentlemen, is actually just... No! Hello? Abduct? No abduct being used. That was a huge... That was like 25 supply in one shot. He had a Viper there as well to abduct. I mean, you would say that the man of Bly's level should be able to cast an abduct there. Okay, a couple of Templar coming in right now. 11k lost against 14k lost. That was a really bad fight for Bly. Now Bly is going to be able to take out these cannons really quickly, which is nice. Cannons also expensive to rebuild. Void Rays moving in, of course. With their speed upgrade, Flux Veins are going to be rather rapid. Disruptor being used there to kill a couple of changelings. Forward base being taken for Bly. Bly decides, hey, if we're going to be playing a late game, we're going to do it on my terms. I want 8 bases. You're only allowed 4. Have a good match, my friend. Melee attacks level 1 is about to finish up. 15 minutes into the game. Here come 15 Banelings being added in as well. Storm just now starting, and there's 3 disruptors, but against Banelings, disruptors don't tend to be too good. Creep being denied is a big deal because Banelings are a lot better on creep. Okay, right now MaxPax is aware that there is a couple of Banelings. I'm going to say a couple. I think there's still 13 left. 14 Banelings left. +3 needs to be researched soon as well for him. I don't mind MaxPax's army so much. Oh! Single Bane's not gonna be able to quite do it. Meanwhile, a decently sized fight over here. A couple of abducts go down. I think this fight wasn't too bad for MaxPax. It really wasn't. Might not look great, but it wasn't that bad. Now, this is a run by that I absolutely love here. After taking out a lot of the static defense with his Banelings, he decides, hey, I can just send the Ultras in, and your fourth phase is most likely going to fall, or at least take a decent amount of damage. Beautiful fungals here. Absolutely fantastic fungals out of Bly. MaxPax struggling to stay alive, and I'm not quite sure if he can hang in there at this point. Still has a bunch of carriers. His opponent only building Hydras. I wouldn't mind a double spire. Okay, never mind. I said nothing. I wouldn't have minded the faster double spire transition here. Fight still going in MaxPax's favor, and perhaps with a couple of decent storms actually. I think MaxPax might be able to push this back. Lose a Templar, but these fights aren't great here. These fights really aren't great for Bly. Bly not getting +3 yet either. No carapace upgrades being started as well. Now this looks stupid, but the army supply of MaxPax is actually relatively large. And I mean, this is just Hydras. Hydras are such a crap unit once there's multiple forms of AoE. Well, once there's one form of AoE, whether it's Disruptor or Storm, Hydras just become a lot worse. There's two forms of AoE. There's two types of AoE here. You got the Disruptor and you got the Stormers. Once again, a pro pool out of MaxPax is something I've been seeing more out of him recently. Seems like a lot of his games go into this type of territory where, to me, oh my god, that's a huge Disruptor hit. But to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Baneling's trying to connect with these Templar, get big connections here with the Templars. I think this is going to be enough for MaxPax though. MaxPax is taking out a lot of the Hydras. More Hydras coming in from the back. MaxPax trying his absolute best to focus fire these. What are the counts left? 14 Hydras against 8 carriers. 4 Queens adding into the damage as well. One more carrier goes down. 7 Hydras out on the map. There's not that much money left here for Bly, honestly. And there's one carrier very low. No way. Is MaxPax actually doing it? He's trying to take out these Queens. There's a couple of transfuses ready. Transfuses, however, are not being used right now. There is 6 carriers out, but there's 30 and there's 32 interfestors. I was going to say, but there's only 32 interceptors. Swarmhost being... What? Swarmhost being added as well. Spore dealing a bunch of damage, but these +2 carriers are dealing a crap ton of damage as well. All of these interceptors are being rebuilt immediately. There's still money for that. A little bit of a ling run by into the third base. Maybe soon there will be no more money for that. This is an insane game. MaxPax trying to fly forward with his carriers, taking out... What are you going for? Well, I'd go either for drones or for Hydras. Right now he's not attacking anything, leaving all of those Overlords alive as well. I guess in theory he could supply block his opponent. We have 15 Hydralisks out. We have 9 more on the way. 2 of these Hydras are... No, hello? You might want to kill that. You might want to kill... No, there's a free Hydra. Free Hydra. Alright. Takes out the Hydra. Now he's going to go for all of these Overlords. And right now we have our maximum of Hydralisks out on the map. It's going to be 25 Hydralisks. That's it. That is what Bly is going to be working with. Now the income for Bly is still way higher. He doesn't need to attack into this. He does not need to attack into this. He can just defend his outside bases with many spores and get more Overlords at different places to perhaps even get some Corruptors going. He has 2.2k gas currently in the bank. An Ultralisk and a couple of Banelings are trying their best to deny this base. I wonder if this battery will ever decide to heal it. I think the answer is going to be no. Ultralisk dies, Nexus also dies. Hydra count of 21 will start moving across the map. 2 more Templar get warped in at home. A couple of Spores wouldn't hurt, right? 3 Vipers on the way as well. I like that a lot. Because there's no more Templar here with this army. All of the Templar are at home currently. You have a single Void Ray moving around. Target the Void Ray, or the Overlords, excuse me. Yeah, Overlords are gonna get taken out. 6 more Infestors. Holy crap, 6 more Hydralisks on the way. We're gonna have 23 Hydralisks, 3 Vipers against 6 Carriers, 1 Void Ray, and 4 Templar. The problem is that the Templar and the carriers aren't actually together at the moment. If those two were together, I'd say, hey, this game might be possible. But as long as they're not together, I think that, yeah, the Vipers are just a little bit too good. Vipers are gonna, whoop, immediately eat that Void Ray. Now, the nice thing of that is that it provides a little bit of a warning here. Do these infestors have the long arm? What's it called? Neural Parasite? No Neural Parasite yet. Neural Parasite would be huge. Yeah, I like this recall. This was a very, very solid recall. Very solid recall. Now there's 3 gateways. There's 7 carriers now, so 1 carrier got added. And once this Templar Archives finishes up, I think he can warp in 3 more Templar, and then he can probably start fighting these other bases as well. The question now is, what is better? Whose control is better here? So we're entering the final stages of capitalism. Both players are fighting each other for the remaining resources on the map. Well, actually, there's a winner when it comes to resources, and that's Bly on Fire. I think the army, the military investment here out of MaxPax, that might have been a little bit greater. Alright, come on. Fungal forward, fungal. Can we get a fungal? Yeah, look how careful MaxPax is with his vision, the little vision that he has. He needs to be so careful. We have 12 links on the way as well. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of spores being thrown down here. Is there still... Yeah, there's 2 spawning pools alive. I mean, you're the only one mining. Just throw down 8 spores. You'd say no. That's what I would say. Why not? What's the downside? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Ah, it's gonna get got. He got. He has gotten got. 3 more Hydralisk on the way. This Hydra then is an absolute gangster. Bleeding out, still producing his Hydralisk brothers. 2 Overlords gonna get taken out. Actually kind of painful. It's not like Bly is swimming in money here. If anything, he's not swimming in money. Ooh. Big fungal, a lot of these carriers. Observer seeing absolutely everything as well. Ooh, that was a good fungal. Fungal realized that he was being seen by that observer. Now, how many storms do we have left? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we have a crap load. We have like 8. No, 7, I think. Can we get a storm? Can we get a storm? Yeah. Now, the ideal here for MaxPax is that he starts storming Hydras before the fight. Because you don't want to accidentally also same time storm your interceptors. So MaxPax really wants, with this Templar, to kind of fight the pure Hydra before... Oh, that's a dead infestor. Whoop. Hello, can I get... He didn't want to feedback, he just attack moved it. Uh-oh, here comes a nice abduct, that's 1. That's going to be 2, those are huge abducts. Absolutely massive play out of Bly there. Of course, after that first observer died, MaxPax didn't have a clue where his opponent's army was. Now it's 5 carriers against 33 Hydras. Spores are being built, finally, I have to say. I'd love this creep tumor to go save this this gangster Hydra then. Doesn't quite seem to be the case. The longer the game goes, the worse it's gonna get for you, buddy. The worse it's going to get for you. MaxPax needs to fight, and he needs to fight very, very rapidly. Storms hitting. More storms hitting. Fungal not quite connecting with what Bly wanted it to connect with. Storms are doing a lot of damage here. A lot of these Hydras already moving towards the orange right now. There's still 4 spores there. They'll be able to tank a lot of damage, and more importantly, they don't quite die against storm. Oh my god, all of these storms are hitting the Hydras. Good abduct out of Bly, but I don't think it's quite going to be enough as a storm party destroys everything that Bly has and everything he loves. Spores actually... No? Is it over? GG! I thought it was over, but the spore stayed alive. Oh my god, what a terrible call by me. I really believed it was over. Look at this. All of these Hydras just died. But the spores did so much damage. Look at the target fire. That's beautiful. That's just beautiful. Target firing the carriers rather than going for the interceptors. And then all of the interceptors also were empty. It wasn't the greatest split out of Bly, but apparently it was good enough. Nice, what a game. What a game. Bly taking out MaxPax here on Oxide. And that's going to be it for me today. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you all next time for a new video. Bye bye.